So what we're going to be doing today is learning about our free tools that we have with your membership with HAR. A lot of people say HAR, but it's not HAR, it's HAR. Har, har, har. I remember once I was at HAR and I was standing at the front. I don't know if it was my lucky day or not, but I'll tell you guys a little joke that happened. Somebody walked in and she rushed in at the front door and she said, I'm here to make an appointment. And the receptionist said, do you have an appointment? She says, no, I'm here to make an appointment. And the receptionist says, well, she was, of course, confused. And the lady had an attitude, and she says, well, you know, I'm here to get my hair done. I just slowly, I wanted to laugh, so I just slowly turned around and just walked away. Because I knew I wanted to laugh so bad. I just walked away. I thought the eye was missing from the marquee outside. She didn't see the eye was missing. So she had to explain to her, this is not a hair salon, you know. But she was just so undone that the receptionist was not, you know, taking her seriously. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I know. So anyway,
when you think you've heard it all.
When you think you've heard it all, I have some stories to tell you you would not believe. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about free tools, but they do not include getting your hair done, just to let you know. Okay. So with your membership, not only at HAR, but at the National Association of Realtors and TAR, there are many, many benefits. But today I want to cover the ones particularly at HAR, and from the concept of just the tools themselves, but how they actually affect you on the consumer side too, so that you can see the consumer side and your side from the realtor perspective. And so, you know, feel free to ask me questions as we go through these tools. I'm going to start off by just looking from the dashboard. When you first log in, the dashboard is, why they call it the dashboard, is kind of correlate with your car. You know, get to your car and you look at the dashboard, and you have all of these different, you know, buttons to push and so forth. So that's what this is over here when you look at the top left-hand corner when you see your dashboard. When you first log in, you'll see they have these alerts for you, and I want to thank you, Sandra, for allowing us to use your login. And as you look here, you'll see they'll have some alerts. You always want to pay attention to these alerts. Most times when a realtor logs in, the first thing they do is look at the top right-hand corner, and they go straight into MLS. And that's mostly what we use it for. But there's so many other things that are available. So I'm going to start off by just going quickly over here to where it says MLS and start at that area. So when I click here on MLS, you'll see that on the left-hand side, we have two things that you're familiar with, which is Tempo MLS, and you've got Fusion MLS. But then there's another MLS access that you have that is fed by Realtor.com. And it's this one here called Find MLS Search. Find MLS Search is not one that is, you know, they don't talk about it a lot at HAR, but it's there. So when you click on it, it's going to open another tab. You'll see over here to the left, HAR is still open. When I say it opens another tab, what it means is you're not going to lose the tab that you already have open to the left. Here's your member only, where you logged in. So it opens another tab. You're not losing your original login, right? The first time you open it up, it's going to bring up this window and say, welcome to Find. That's the name of it. It's called Find. So when you get here, it's going to show you how many properties are there in the list of properties. These are all the properties that are listed within the MLS system that are fed through Realtor.com. Okay? Let me ask you a little question. How many of you, who owns Realtor.com? Anybody know? Yeah, a lot of people think it's NAR, but actually NAR only owns 2%. A lot of people think that NAR owns Realtor.com, but they only own 2% of it. But Realtor.com pulls listings from all the different MLS systems in here. This particular feature is a conglomerate of different MLS systems throughout the country.
Is that saying that there are 119 million properties listed? Am I reading that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you know what'd you say?
119 million.
Yes.
On that?
Yes.
Is that all over the United States?
That's correct.
That still seems
Not just Texas?
That's correct.
Okay.
And we are so lucky to all be under one, because I sent a referral to New York the other day. This lady holds six
MLS, exactly. And that's, I'm so glad you said that, because there are many Texas realtors that have to hold more than one MLS memberships, is to just be able to run their business. And with your membership at HAR, it's so taken for granted. You have the best board in the country. You do. You literally have there is no doubt that you have the best board in the country. So from here, on the left-hand side, you'll see that they have results breakdowns, and you can add more different types of breakdowns. Here it's showing you the different MLS systems. It's showing you here bathrooms. If I wanted to, I can delete that off. Bedrooms. I can filter by these, right? So let's say if I wanted to refine a search, if I click in here, let's say, for example, you had someone coming in from New York, and you wanted to maybe just kind of have an idea of what the properties look like in New York. Maybe you've never been there before, and you wanted to just have an idea, so when they come, you have a way to have a conversation with that particular buyer. You can start typing in New York, and you'll notice it's a smart search, right? And so if I type in New York, you notice it's coming up in the list. So when I hit the enter key, you'll see that it's sorting it by the city and the state. And it immediately brings up 240,452 properties in my list results of properties that are listed. Is that making sense? So you'll see that you'll have the opportunity at this point to go in and just click on any one of these properties, click on the link, and it will give you information on that listing. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I did not know that.
Does it help to have the zip of where they're coming?
You can add that information in here too. That's also part of the wildcard that you can add. You know, you can refine your search by adding that. You'll notice over here it says examples. You can add cities, you can add bedrooms. It's giving you examples of what you can add in here. Keywords, school districts, owners. But I have something even better than this to show you. So I'm working my way through it to give you this as one example. But there's more than this one tool from an MLS standpoint. There was a time when, have you heard of RPR?
You
Okay.
taught us RPR a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so with RPR, for those of you who weren't here, you weren't here. Okay, you know, not being a member of the Galveston Association of Realtors, if you're not, then that gives you an opportunity to see those properties without membership, right? Well, there was a time without RPR that this was the way that you'd see those properties. This, of course, is only giving you access to active properties. And then there's other feeds over here to the right, which I won't go into right now. I'll give you an example of what these feeds does. When you go into Galveston, it'll actually show you how the wind blows on a house. Do you know what I mean? It's incredible. I mean, so have some fun with it. Go in and play with it. It costs you nothing. And it does some comps and has some demographic information and statistical data and so forth that you can look at. Again, that's going to be under MLS, where we are, and you'll see it's called Find MLS Search. There's another one under here called MLS Data Co-op Search. And this one here, I'm not totally versed on it. It's growing and growing. And what this one does is it provides listings from other MLS's not only in Texas, but throughout the U.S., where listings are being added by those that are not part of HAR. And you are doing a co-op. Now, I'm not a realtor, so you guys understand what that is, right?
You're saying that these are listings that are not part of the normal...
not necessarily part of the normal MLS.
They're not part of any MLS?
Not necessarily. They could be and they maybe not.
Okay.
It could be a combination of both. So when you come in here and you search, you'll see here that it'll show, like, for example, over here, this one is saying there are 12,000 matches in this area in Arkansas.
Huh.
So if I were to click here to drill in, it will take me into this section and give me more properties in this area here that are on MLS. Does that make sense?
So how would that be different from what we just looked at?
The difference is that these listings, they are listed on MLS, on HAR. So we're not now looking out away from HAR. These are actually listed on MLS, our MLS.
How can you do that? Because we can't sell in Arkansas without an Arkansas license.
Well, some agents have an Arkansas license.
You can refer.
Yeah.
Some agents have more than one, more than just,
I got you license.
right, there you go. Yeah.
But I didn't know I could, but it's a referral license.
Yes, but these are, and so data co-op, from what I understand, is when you're working with another realtor, right? Whether that realtor is in Texas or not.
Co-op is when you work back and forth with another agent as opposed to sending.
But do they have to be part of the Texas Association of Realtors? No. So that's the whole point of the co-op. So they're feeding their listings onto HAR, and so they're showing you that extension on data co-op.
So is that how sometimes when I'm doing a search on MLS Fusion, I'll type in, I don't know, 77381, and I'm pulling up listings, but sometimes I'll see something in Arkansas.
That's correct. That's why you see it.
Because I always wonder, why would I want to look at a property in Arkansas?
Right.
So why does it come up under our zip code search? Why would another agent put it under CAR? I don't understand. Why are you showing me a property in Mexico?
Well, people invest in properties all over the place. So it's just a matter of you thinking outside of the box, right?
Okay.
Yeah?
I understand the idea.
You got it?
Yeah.
So is it a referral fee that you're going to get, you see? I don't know.
You just see the property.
Well, I can't answer that question because I'm not a realtor. But because I look at data, when Data Corp first started, it was strictly here in Texas. And every time I look at it, it's like growing. It's like it's going bigger and bigger. So I'm thinking, okay, well, now realtors are thinking outside the box. The market is growing. It's giving you an opportunity to communicate and work with realtors outside, because you're an NAR member too. You're not just a TAR member. Is that making sense?
They changed the rules a couple of years ago, I noticed, but because I tend to not want to go all the way to Arkansas somehow, didn't pay too much attention, but so I'm not real sure what the new rules say.
I'm struggling to see the value of these listings on HAR if they're available to us through our Find MLS or through our RPR. What's the advantage of having them
I don't want to
through this data co-op?
It's kind of like RE/MAX then. So for RE/MAX, why would you communicate with a realtor in another state?
On a referral basis, and I would just, and I have done that. I've gone and looked.
I would think that this is
Couldn't you
correlated
look
to
up
that.
the listings in that area to kind of see what, does it show you who the realtors are?
Yes, it does.
Therefore, you know if you want to refer something up to them and
Yes.
how many listings they have and so on and
Yes.
so forth. So it gives you more knowledge
Yes.
of who you're going to be dealing with.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
If that person has their listings in
Yeah,
here.
that's correct.
But that I would say that those are HER members. Some of them are HER members, some of them are not. So I can get more information on the data co-op for you if you would like.
I'm just curious, do they pay HAR fees?
I think, from what I understand, some listings that are here are strictly listing based, where people just pay an exorbitant amount of money just to have listings in MLS. but they're not actually, they're not members.
But let me ask something, if you've got somebody that wants to go to one of these areas, you could bring them in and show them some of the houses that look.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
it helps you,
Yeah.
you know, I get you.
But there's more. Like, you know, if we could, so how many of you in here were at the RPR class that I had? So you know where I'm going now, right? Okay, so RPR is, and I'm going to click on that so you'll see it opens up in another tab. Those of you who haven't been to RPR, if I try to make sure you have a card before we leave today so you can sign up for it. You are a member of the National Association of Realtors, and with that membership, you get the Realtor Property Resource. That's going to give you almost 150 million properties that you have access to. And the difference between that and what we've looked at before is that is, yes.
Do you just go in and sign up? You don't have to pay anything or anything like that? You just register yourself, is that correct?
That's correct. With your membership with RPR, it's designed by realtors for realtors. And you are the only one who has,
So you have to join RPR.
you register
Register.
for
You
it.
have to have your number.
You need your NERDS number.
Pardon?
You need your NERDS number, which I'm going to show you how to get that. NERDS number. Your national
I'm a nerd.
you're a nerd, exactly. So if you look right here under the members only, the way you get that is you go under My Account.
Oh, okay, I couldn't find my.
Go to My Account, and then you select Membership Card. And under Membership Card, this is your HAR card. And you'll see your NERDS number on it.
I pay my dues, but I don't have my card.
All you've got to do is go under here and print that off. Everybody should actually print that off and laminate it, because you get discounts using this card at, you know, when you go to get your car washed or different places, and it gives you access into manned subdivisions. Sometimes your business card is not enough, you know.
Yeah, Legends doesn't like us.
Legends doesn't like
Yeah, they don't like us.
because of this card?
No, it just they make it very hard to get in if you're really.
But does this work?
I'll try this one.
This will work because it has your number on it. Yeah, business cards, anybody can print a business card. But with this has your number on it,
I
right?
have to look it up.
No, and you can show them both your business card and this at the same time, so they have a cross-reference.
I do have one and I do carry it.
Yeah, I would say
But I
that,
hadn't tried that.
I'll bet you that would work. Yeah, I'll bet you that would work for you. So once you go to MLS and you click on RPR and it opens up this window, when you have your NERDS number, you'll create your new account here. As long as you have that number, it makes it much easier for you to set that up, okay? Make sure you have a secure password. You'll use the email address as your username and then your password. And it's going to have 150 million properties listed in it. You have a commercial side and a residential side on it, okay? We won't talk about the commercial side today, but what I will tell you on the residential side is that you can search for any property that is in the United States, whether that property is listed or not. So that's going to be the difference between what we just looked at and RPR. So RPR is going to give you any property, whether it's listed or not.
Okay, so when we looked under Find MLS, it mentioned 119 million. I thought it said listings, which sounded outrageously high for a country of 300 million people. This mentions 133 million properties, but only 2.2 million active listings. That sounds much more realistic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it. That's all. That's my whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like Home Snap. On
No. See, this right here is feeding, and this the reason why this looks more realistic to you. This is not actually feeding all the MLS systems yet.
Okay.
See, and the reason I can say that is the map will show you. Let me see if I can show you the map. See if I can show you the map. No, I have to log out to show you the map. I need to do that. You need to see the map. Right here where it says, This is the partner map right here. This will show you where RPR is now and where it's launching, right? So basically, these are all the places where RPR is currently feeding. The MLS systems are feeding into it. These are the areas, these holes that you see here, it's not feeding there yet. No, there's population, it's just the MLS systems are not feeding into it. So you have to remember, some states have more MLSs than others, right? So Dallas is coming on board. They took them a while. Hawaii is already on board. So you can search for properties in any of these, anywhere in the United States that is just from a standpoint of being a tax ID. It doesn't have to be listed. You get them all now.
Kind of like what we do going to Harris County Appraisal District.
That's correct. They're all there.
Okay.
They're all there. But the listings, from the listings perspective, the red ones that I just showed you, they're all listed now. They're all fed in.
So the yellow ones aren't?
They're on their way. They're in process of being. They're in process of being launched. So what that does, the difference with that, with what you're, so this is not an MLS system. The different, you cannot add your listings to this, right? This is where you go in and you search. Correct. Correct. So when your client wants you to list their property for them, you would want to, they might forget to tell you that they're in pre-foreclosure. So if they were to just forget, this would be a great place for you to come and see if they, you could help to kind of bring that subject up.
What kind of information do they give you, just straight off the tax?
Well, let's say I'm just going to search. If I just type in a zip code, you can type in anything, right? Anywhere in the country. Anywhere in the country. Contiguous and non-contiguous states. So if I just type in a zip code, I'm going to just bring up Katie, and I search, it's going to give me, and there's no limit as to how many properties it will give me. So I'm getting non-distressed, distressed, active, and pending properties in my search results. It says I have 20,480 properties in Katy, and it will show me a map here of where that is. There are many things that I can get from here. Like I said today, we won't go through it all, but I can get flood zones, I can get concentration of distressed properties, all types of information I can get out of here. But then from here, and you'll notice it's feeding in HAR. I've got my sale information and so forth. I've got my sale pending data. The only thing that you cannot get in here is rental properties. So rental properties is not available. So for now, if I go in here and I say, okay, well, all I want to see now are distressed, I can apply that and I can filter to see how many distressed properties are there in Katy. Well, right now there are 124 distressed properties. If they're listed, it will actually show you if they're listed. So these are the distressed properties out there.
Check non-listed, so it's still going to show you if it's listed?
If it's
You check, it's not checked active or pending.
right, so I got it. I took it off. Okay, good.
So does that mean it will show you if it's listed?
No, I took it off.
Okay.
So, but if I left it, it would show you if it, let's say, so if I said, if I left it there as an active, like a property, it would say, okay, it's distressed, but it's for sale, right? Now, let's say if I clicked on this particular property, on this one right here, then this will tell me, give me some details about this property. So let's say this was the property that you were going out to go and make a presentation on. You would just have to physically type in the address, bring it up, and get some information on it beforehand. So instead of going to tax records, Stewart Title, to look up the information, you would come in here to look it up.
What is this?
This is the national, the way NAR does it, they're getting feeds from all tax records throughout the country. Okay, so it's feeding in different types of information from different resources, like, the county, FEMA, okay? So and you can, all of this can be corroborated by the sections.
Where
So
did these photos come from if it's not listed?
It was.
this was listed.
And
So
it pulled that in?
absolutely, and what it does is a combination of all the pictures from all the times it was listed. And the way you know is, you see what it says historical records. This will show you, okay, it was listed twice. So if I go to compare over here, and see, you don't have to go to property archive reports. You can do this all at one place. I can go here and say, okay, let me see this one to the left, and then I want to look at this one to the right, and I can compare the both of them and see what the differences are on both of these properties at the same time. Are there any differences? Well, yeah, this one says it's 3270. That one said it's 3470, right? I can look at this and see, are there any discrepancies on it? This one says central gas zoned. Okay, you know.
So can you tell if what the disposition of the property is now?
Yes. So, well, it'll give you some historic information. So if I go back and look here, this will tell you who the homeowner is. You can come in and add your own statistical information, which is only going to be added into your database in the system. It's not going to hit the integrity of the data. It'll come down and show you here the distressed information on it. You'll get the room details, the location information, schools, legal description, mortgage records, tax information.
Pause right there. Let me see.
Sure.
So it gives you the loan amount.
There's more.
And the interest rate.
It keeps you from going into the,
How does it get all of that?
You got to remember, all of this information is something that you could get if you wanted to go out and do extensive research. They're providing it to you in one place and feeding it all together for you as a realtor. Instead of you having to go to the courthouse and try to find all this information, you're getting all of this at one time, right? Yes, ma'am.
Is this feed into the public side of HAR?
No.
You know, this is the class that we did last month, and several of you, I think 4 of you, were in this class. Frank's recorded it, so you can go back to that recording and or if
We can do it again
ever
if you
wanna
want.
do it again, maybe let's keep that in mind. And Desi,
Now, right here where it says mortgage records, you'll notice there's a little link here that says show more. So if I click here, this is expand and give you more information, max interest rate information. They've got equity information, title company, whomever it was. All of that information's here, right?
So they bought it in '07.
oh, excuse me. What'd you ask, Sandra?
Oh, is this all, is it pre-foreclosure as well as already foreclosed property?
This one is only pre-foreclosure that I filtered here. See, when you're on HAR, you can get foreclosures,
Right, I know.
but you can't get pre-foreclosures.
Exactly.
So that's the distinction between this system and HAR. HR is also not going to give you this type of data in regard to the financial situation that they're in, right? So when you're going in, you're like, dude, did you forget to tell me you're in pre-foreclosure, right? So-
Desiree, could you run a search like this and then export the data, for example, to an Excel spreadsheet or a mailing label?
Mailing label, no, but you can, and I'll show you, you can do a property analysis for investors here. So you can do the Excel.
So if I wanted to look at every distressed property in 77450 and export that to an Excel, I cannot.
No.
Okay. So
But
it's
you can
one
go
at a
through,
time.
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So right over here where it says history, if I click on that, but you could write down what you wanted, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm looking for efficiencies.
Yeah. Now, right here, I'll show you eReal. I'll show you one thing and see if maybe that would help in just a second. Right here, this is show you when they were notified. So these red lines shows you the notice of sale. Right here, right? So as you come down, this is the prior sale information. So this is their public record. So this is your prior sale transaction information, right? But then if I come down some more and I click on show more, there's even more data on it here.
Okay,
Now,
back up.
go, okay,
What, 06, 99.
correct.
Because they bought it in '07.
Oh, so,
It was built in '99, they bought it in '07.
So those are prior sales here,
Right, so nothing since '06?
correct. But look at MLS records. I can toggle.
Okay,
This is my toggle.
still.
Yeah.
Now
So-
go back up again to the graph.
And this is showing you everything in regard to that, right? So if I come back up here, there's my
So
graph.
what's that line in 12?
this is an assessment. So this is the market value assessment
Okay.
from Harris County.
So is it really saying he's in distress now?
This
Or
is
he
when
was in distress?
they were in distress here in March of 2011.
Notice of sale and what, non-foreclosure, NF?
Yeah.
Updated with information 3/1 of 11.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean?
That's the last time they were notified. They're still in pre-foreclosure.
They are?
Which is defined as a certain number of months behind on their mortgage?
It could be more than a certain amount of months.
Because mortgage companies are letting people stay in longer too, because.
I know got somebody who's been in there for years, years, I mean, years.
Used
So
to,
what they do, they pay a little bit,
Yeah,
and they keep
used
paying a
to.
little bit. And I've seen them with like red lines just going across it like this. Where,
Yeah, that's a shadow inventory that they haven't let.
now, this is where they've done something to hold them off. You know,
Action.
An action,
yeah,
not a sale.
no, it's a notice. So if you want, what you can do, so I'll come back and show you on the summary here.
That's right, you
Yes.
search this just by the address.
I know I searched by the zip code for this and looked for all the properties in that zip
And
code.
then you picked one out and zip.
Just to be quick. But if you could have searched just for that one particular property, and it could have been in pre-foreclosure, and your prospective seller just didn't tell you.
so you could put the address up
Physical
there, just to get
address.
that one
Just to get that one, just to run a report on it before you go on your listing appointment, right? So from here, this is what you were asking me about here, the property analysis for investors. When you click on this, you can always watch this video, but when you click on OK, this is going to give you, from a scenario if this property were listed, and if you had an investor, for example, now you can look at it and say, okay, is this going to be a property that's going to be listed, or am I going to live in it, or am I going to lease it, right? And then you have a scenario here, okay, let me look, it's 10 years, it's 15 years, what? Well, there's your graph. Okay, then down here, you've got your offering price. If I wanted to be aggressive about it, you can slide this. As soon as you start slide, it's going to say, don't forget to save. So you want to go to erealinvestor.com, and this is probably where you'll be able to make those changes where you can export data. But I'll show you, when you slide this over, you want to set up your erealinvestor.com. You can do one for free. Go to www.erealinvestor.com, set up a free account, and you can do some additional things there outside of RPR. This is the one place that RPR does, I don't know if they sell this part of it, this data, but this is the only place that you notice it opens up into another window, right? So when you drag, you'll notice you can drag your offering price if you want to be more aggressive. Now watch here, you'll notice how it starts to blink here. So it's showing that the system is saying that that's a great deal, and it's telling you what that means. Here is where you can change your closing costs, rehab costs, etc. Based on what I have set up here as simple rent, if I had changed this from simple rent to lease schedule, this wouldn't be here as rentals. But if, let's say I left it as rentals, if I wanted to see what the rentals were in the area, when I click on rentals, it will tell me. Okay. Then, once I've gotten my scenarios here completed, I can click on View Spreadsheet. And this is the spreadsheet I was referring to that you can put in Excel.
And this came out of RPR? Or
Yes,
came
ma'am.
out of Investor?
This is a part of RPR. The link is in RPR, but then it opens up and goes into eReal Investor.
Real Investor?
eReal Investor.
Why are the different years there for that one property?
This is just a scenario for either if you wanted to look at this from the rent, resale, live-in versus aggressive, moderate, and conservative on your investment. So that's these. So if I were to take off conservative over here, you won't see that column. It'll disappear. So it's just scenarios that you could use in your analysis. So if you had an investor, this would be a really quick tool to use to send them a spreadsheet. But you want to go to eReal Investor and set up your free account here. And again, you can click on View Spreadsheet, and you can take this information and put it in Excel.
Have you got some of those cards, Desi?
I might have some in my purse. If I don't, I have them in the car so I can get them on break. If I have any from my last class with me.
Check at the break.
Yeah, we can check on break and see if I have any. I know they're in the car though. So yeah, there's many other things that you can do in here. The reports can be created on the computer. They're PDF. You can open this on your tablet, on your phone, on your computer. It's all friendly on mobile devices. So when you can access and create all of this that we're doing here, 100% on any device. You can just go to narrpr.com and actually open anything. So if you create an account, once you create your reports, the reports are generated into your account, and then what you would do at that point is download it into iBooks or into your reader on your Android, and then you would have those reports to be able to present to your client. And so the CMAs are incredible. Absolutely, because they're PDF documents. Yeah. So you can also do neighborhood reports. So it gives you statistics on the neighborhoods. It gives you all kinds of statistics. They've got school information, as you'll notice over here. On the right-hand side, there's a static area over here that will allow you to compare information by zip codes, median list prices in the area, and so forth. And these are the schools. It'll provide you with that information on the right. And then if I look here for this particular property, if I click on this to open up this map, it'll show you all of the HCAD values on the properties, right? But then if I wanted to, I can also hit this drop-down menu here, and you'll see it just show if there's any distressed properties, it will show them to you. So like this is the property that we're in here, right? That's the subject. Well, it's saying, oh, by the way,